Hi guys, today I want to discuss a lot of emails I've been getting regarding my online coaching. I thought it could be a useful video to link people who are inquiring about my services, and also just a useful tool to have on my website. So who is it for? Who is this kind of being targeted at? And it's very important I address this because this is, without question, is not for everybody. It's only for a specific type of person. I'm only really looking to work with kind of intermediate to advanced trainees, so people with at least 1 year's weight training experience. What's the reason for this? The reason is because obviously you're working via email, via spreadsheets, etc. I'm not actually going to be there in person with you. There needs to have someone with a good foundation of training, good foundation of technique, etc. for them to really maximise their potential regarding the services. You may not be aware of this, but I actually had an online coach probably about 2 years ago, and it completely changed everything, not necessarily in regards of achieving my physique goals, but more about the route at which it was achieved. The reason I say this is because probably 2-3 years ago I was still am today to a certain degree with certain aspects of my life, but I was very obsessive and compulsive with my nutrition. I was typically eating kind of 6 to 8 meals a day, very quote unquote clean food, probably had orthorexia, which is kind of an obsession with healthy food. And I kind of presumed this is the only way I can achieve my physique goals. But that is so far away from the truth. And what this coach taught me was how I could still have a balanced lifestyle, I could still have quote unquote some bad food within my nutrition, as long as it still fitted into my macronutrient targets, my fibre targets. It was still within a reasonable dose within the context of the whole diet. So for example, it wasn't like it was the only type of foods I was eating. And it also taught me just to get out of my head in terms of obsessively thinking about food all the time. It allowed me almost to take a step back to almost think, okay, this is what I need to do for the week. It's already taken care of, and I can focus on other things, my business, my clients, etc., etc. So it's almost taken care of. The other benefit is just accountability. Look at any elite athlete, look at any kind of high performance business person, they've all got coaches, they've all got someone to be accountable for, and just having someone there, it's very easy to let yourself down, but it's a lot more difficult when you've got someone you're reporting your food intake on a weekly basis to kind of come away from what you're supposed to be doing. So just that in itself, accountability, you'd be surprised, performance results are going to go up without question by default. Now the thing is just a learning experience. Like I said, the coach I had 2 years ago, just the biggest thing is almost coaching my clients' understanding about nutrition and training more than the actual results itself. The results are almost a byproduct of being more educated, both nutrition and training, learning how to make changes so you continue to progress. Because that's the biggest thing that I try and put in place. I'm not just giving you a kind of a generic plan and then there's it. There's weekly changes if needed. We're constantly measuring your progress. If you look at all my clients' results, they're all on different macronutrients, they're all on different terms of meal frequencies. It all changes depending on their lifestyle, their results, how frequently they're training, whether they're male or female, etc. So what do you get? So the way my plans are set up is via twofold, one through a spreadsheet and also a PDF document. So within the Excel spreadsheet, it's very extensive. There's a lot of tabs and essentially cover every single base. So nutrition, training, I'll actually go through them now. So tab 1 is basically a spreadsheet to measure your body composition, so body fat percentage, measurements, so girth measurements, so things like arms, stomach, chest, shoulders, legs, etc. Also body weight. So therefore I've got week 1, week 2, week 3, or as long as you're working with me, and you can see the changes. So therefore on a weekly basis, when you check in with me with your stats, I can then see whether you're making progress or not, and then make the desired changes so you continue to progress. Tab 2 is the training plan, so this is also going to be tailored to your goals, tailored to your lifestyle. So obviously if you can only train 4 days a week, I'm not going to throw 6 days a week training at you. It's all going to be tailored to you. Third tab is a nutrition tab, where I'm basically giving you macronutrient guidelines, your fibre targets, calorie targets. Fourth tab, I'm basically going to give you some example meal plans. And the reason why I only give example meal plans is this is a learning process. If I just gave you a 7-day meal plan, you don't learn anything, you don't learn what a value of a food really is, how certain macronutrients and calories affect your results. And also, if you were to go away on holiday or on business, for any reason, if them 7 meals or 7 days worth of meals are not with you, you're clueless, you don't really know what you're doing. So having examples is just give you a little nudge in the right direction, how the macronutrients set up within the food you're already eating. Therefore, if you were to go away, you'd still understand what you require in terms of protein, carbs, fats, fibre, calories, etc. Fifth tab is basically a food list. I've got an extensive food list, so protein, carbohydrates, fats, and I basically discuss per 100 grams how much of those protein, carbs, fats are in each and every food. So it's a really useful guide, and it obviously doesn't contain every food, but it really does help my clients a hell of a lot. Within the next tab, we've then got your food diary. So this is a very important tab because each week you're going to be filling this out for 7 days, and I'm going to be assessing it. So the great thing is I'm going to be able to see how close you get to your macronutrient targets, your fibre targets, your calorie targets, the type of food sources you're using. In the next tab, you've got your any required changes tab. So this is another very important one because this is an evolutionary process. The macronutrient targets you start with and calorie targets are going to be always fluctuating depending on your progress. This is a tab that I can work through, make changes on a weekly basis if needed, and I can see how many changes we've made throughout the process. Next tab is an extra notes tab. So this is a great tab for you to kind of fill in how the week's gone, how you felt, your mood, energy, etc. Next tab is the supplements tab. So this is a tab I'll tailor the supplements I believe that you need to take, and to be honest, this is very minimum at best, even for my most advanced clients. There tends to be kind of a fish oil, creatine monohydrate, a whey protein supplement, multivitamin, something along those lines. Next tab is the progress pictures tab. So this is a great way for me to see the visual changes from week to week. You'll be surprised how much of a benefit this really is, just seeing yourself make visible changes, because sometimes the weight and the measurements or body fat percentage doesn't do you justice. Then added to this, we've got the PDF documents. This PDF is basically explaining everything about what we're trying to achieve, how we're going to achieve your goals, how the spreadsheet's set up. We talk about the training, and pretty much is very comprehensive. So how much contact do you get with me? Well, essentially we have a check-in day every Sunday, and I'll essentially go through and give you feedback on the following day every Monday. So I'll essentially assess your food diary, I'll assess your body weight, your measurements, body fat percentage on the first tab, as well as your strength. There's also a strength section in that first tab for your big key compound lifts, and I can then give you feedback and then make any changes if needed. Added to this, I contact my clients again, usually midweek, just to see how everything's going, to kind of keep you accountable. Any questions you can kind of ask me at that point. But added to this, you've got unlimited contact with me. You can ask me questions, anything you're unsure of. So I hope you found this useful. I'd really suggest looking on my website as well, my client results. You can see the testimonials, the before and after photos, learn what other people are saying about how I work with them, etc. And I'll also leave the links below for my website, which is jameslaytonfitness.co.uk, and a link to my email address if you'd like to inquire about online coaching. If you haven't already subscribed as well, click the subscribe button, click like. Have a good day. Thank you very much.